Just when you thought you've seen it all from John Ammo. Just when you thought you had me pegged for quite possibly the most annoying and obnoxious individual on YouTube. Just when you thought you watched my video last week and you were like scratching your head like, is this guy retarded or stupid? Did he really just call the dogs Michael Vick killed ugly? Just when you thought you've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen, hold on, two things. One, welcome back to another edition of John Ammo's Archives, right here on YouTube. And two, just when you thought, I'm going to bring it to a whole nother level, baby. My annoyance, my obnoxiousness, my mouth talking, my foul, my trash talk, everything I invented, my world is about to go right through the roof because somebody is feeling just a little bit confident in their football team today. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, coming off a huge win off the New York Giants, 27-17. I hate to be the one to say I told you so. Actually, no. I love doing that shit. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I know it wasn't as dominant as a performance as I called for, but you have to take everything into consideration that the Eagles got robbed once again. They should have won the game by 17 or 24 points. Once again, this time it's not Peyton Manning, it's little Eli Manning, but the referees and the NFL and ESPN love them both just the same. And if they can crown them the champion without actually playing a football game every year, believe me, they would do it. A bunch of bad calls wrapped up with, a bullshit fumble and, a couple bad plays and a drop ball. And, you had a 10-point ball game, which really should have been about a 24-point ball game, to be honest with you. But, the Eagles played probably their sloppiest and worst game of the season and still soundly beat the Giants by 10 points. And they dominated them. I mean, yeah, they let them back in the fourth quarter for a quick second, the Giants, off of a Michael Vick fumble. Cheap fumble, first fumble of the year, first turnover of the year. But, it is what it is. The Giants are still a good football team, not nearly as good as the Eagles. So, good football teams, breaks tend to come to them a little bit differently than the really, really bad ones. And then combine that with the fact that the referees love the Mannings, that, you're never going to get a blowout dominant win over these guys. It's just not possible. It's not in the cards. Big game from Michael Vick. No touchdowns, but more importantly, no interceptions. He's now played five games, basically 6 games. Hasn't thrown one interception this whole season. I think that's unprecedented in football history. I'm not really sure, but I think it is. I always come out here and I love the guy. I always talk about Deshaun Jackson this, Deshaun Jackson that. I want to give a lot of credit to Jeremy Maclin, man. Jeremy Maclin, I never give him a lot of credit. The guy is a beast. He's a very, very, very solid complementary receiver to Deshaun Jackson. A little bit bigger, a little bit more physical. So they match each other very well. Eagles played atrocious. They were only 1 for 5 in red zone opportunities. And they were 3 for 14 on third down conversions. The Giants are the leading third down defense in football. So, they did what they had to do in some respects as far as that goes. They kept the game relatively close. But that being said, there really is no comparing the two teams. Eli Manning is just not a good quarterback. He had his moment in the sun. He coughed up his championship. But whatever chromosomes and nucleuses and embryos happened in the Manning's parents, a lot more went to Peyton than went to Eli. That's for sure. Big game for the Eagle defense. I was very, very, very impressed with the running defense. They completely shut down Ahmed Bradshaw. Ahmed Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs were just annihilated the whole game. Great play by the defensive tackles up front. Brandon Graham, great play. Jaquana Parker, great play. Trent Cole, all these guys. Stu Bradley. The defensive backs, they shut down the Giants also, man. So it was just a good effort all around. And anytime you could get a win, over the New York Giants and you give yourself first place in the NFC East, I got to say, it's a really good feeling. Even when the Giants pulled ahead briefly in the 14th quarter by 1 point, I wasn't worried about it at all. Michael Vick already proved that he could come back and do the 2-minute drill with no problem. So that's it, man. I hope the Giant fans, I hope we knocked you guys into submission. I hope you guys are a little bit more humble today. I hope you guys will, know your role. Speaking of which, the 6-4 New York Giants are now 3 teams ahead of them in the wild card spot, including the Green Bay Packers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints. So I don't know if the Giants are even going to make the playoffs this year, to be honest with you. We'll see. But that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles are now anointed the best team in the NFC East, in the NFC completely. They have beaten more winning teams than any team in football this year. They've beaten the Texans. They've beaten the Colts. They've beaten the Jaguars. They've beaten the Falcons. They've beaten the Giants. They've beaten the Redskins. They're just an impressive football team, man. So, Michael Vick, you're not going to get 59 points out of him every week. There's going to be some weeks where he doesn't do, that he's not the main focal point of attention. But when you have so many weapons like the Eagles do, it really doesn't matter. So, from here on out, the Eagles' schedule is pretty much cake, man. We got the Chicago Bears, the Texans, the Vikings, play the Giants one more time, and the Cowboys twice, and that's it, man. I don't want to be ignorant and say I think we're running the table, but I think we're running the table. I think we're going to beat the Chicago Bears next week. I think we could beat the Texans, no problem. Minnesota Vikings are a joke. We just beat the Giants, and must I really rub it in, Dallas? So there you go, man. This is John Hamill. This is the first place Philadelphia Eagles. This is the 2010-2011 Super Bowl representing. And then we're going to go to Dallas. We're going to stick our Philadelphia Eagle flags all up in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium in sod. We're going to put Philadelphia Eagles shit all around Dallas. And then we're going to take it Dallas over Philadelphia Eagle style. So I guess my only question is NFC, NFL, Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, what you going to do when the Philadelphia Eagles rumble over you?